Hello, Singles Pursuing Purpose family. Greetings. Welcome to another special edition. My name is Lemoy, and I'm so grateful to share company with you today, wherever you are joining me from. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today is a very exciting day because we are kickstarting our series on relationship, and we want to ensure that we set the foundation right. And so the discussion for today is healthy relationship starts with loving you. Healthy relationship starts with loving you. Yes, we're going to dig deep into what does that look like, because if we're going to get it right, we have to start with loving our own self. So stick around. I want to use this opportunity today to really talk to those individuals who are looking forward to establishing relationships. And so, our topic for today is healthy relationship starts with loving you. Yes, having a healthy relationship first starts with loving you. And what I find some of the times is that individuals get into relationship with others without having a healthy relationship with them, with their own selves. So for you to have a healthy relationship with another person, you really have to ensure that you are having a healthy relationship with yourself, and a piece of that includes, resolving some of those differences that you may have had with your own self, coming to acceptance with your own self, identifying values with your own self. And so today we really want to talk about some of those things that I really want you to look into if you are expecting that, in your next season, that you're going to be forming relationships. We want to ensure that we go into relationships having a healthy relationship with our very own self. And so healthy relationship starts with loving yourself. Healthy relationship starts with loving yourself. It is impossible for you to love another person without loving yourself. No, people will say, I love that person, and they don't love themselves. No, it is not love. For you to be able to express love so deeply to another person, you must first love you. And when you have a strong sense of love and self worth, it lays the foundation for positive and fulfilling connections with other people. And that is what I am going to share with you. I'm going to share with you some points that if you are looking forward to a healthy relationship and these pieces are not yet sorted, my friends, ensure that you don't invite another person into your life until you're at that place. So, first things first, self acceptance. So, loving yourself means accepting who you are, including your strengths, your weaknesses, and your imperfections. So, a lot of people are not at the place of self acceptance. They look in the mirror and all the flaws that they could think of, they bring them to center stage. This is wrong with me. That is wrong with me. This is not good. That is not good. So, self acceptance means accepting who you are as a person and accepting your flaws. There are some flaws that you may have that you could work on. If it's a case where maybe you feel like you have on, 2 pounds too much, the gym is available. Or it's a case where you think there's an essential skill that I don't have. Maybe you could learn that skill. Maybe if cooking is not your passion and it's something that you think will make you be fulfilled in a relationship, if you could cook a lovely meal for your partner, it is something that you can learn. But when you're at that place where you're not accepting of yourself, then it becomes so difficult when you go into a relationship. A person who has not, accepted themselves, when that person enters a relationship, that individual is going to be so dependent on their spouse, on their partner, to provide all of that assurance that they should have had within their own self. So, whatever your partner is going to give to you, it should be bonus. It should be bonus. So looking at yourself in the mirror and saying, you know what, I am beautiful, or looking at yourself and saying, I am handsome, or, I think I have some good qualities about myself. You should be at that place. And so when you are in a relationship, you are not hijacking your partner to provide you with all of that assurance. All right. So when you accept yourself, you become more authentic and genuine in your relationship, allowing others to see and appreciate the real you. You could show up as yourself. You could show up and not be afraid to share your flaws because you have accepted it. These are things that, I may not be happy about, but I am working on them. So my friends, self-acceptance is I would say, one of the most critical elements in forming the foundation of a healthy relationship. And then I want to talk about boundaries, setting boundaries. So loving yourself also involves setting boundaries and maintaining healthy boundaries. It means recognizing your needs and limits and communicating them to others. One of the things that I find, especially if an individual may be single for a long time, maybe this person, wants to have a relationship, but the relationship is not forthcoming. One of the things that individuals often do is they begin to compromise their values. And I'm not saying, if it's a case where the values are not ridiculous, or you should be a millionaire, or whatever the case may be, but I'm talking about real, authentic values. People sometimes begin to move those boundaries that they have established because, maybe I am waiting too long. But when it comes to your values and your boundaries, you have to be clear on that. If you're going to, set yourself in a healthy relationship, you have to be clear on who you are. What are those things that you're willing to compromise on? And what are those things that you're not going to compromise on? Because if you're not sure, you are going to settle. Yes. So you are going to settle. So the first appearance or the first presentation of you getting into a relationship, you will jump for that. So you have to be clear on your values. And when you're aware of your values, it helps your relationship because you're going to know this individual that you're talking to, or, maybe that you're dating, you're going to be able to identify, is this person for me? Are our values connecting? Do we connect on some levels in terms of our values? Do we want the same things? Do we believe the same things? So it's very important that you spend some time, ask yourself, what are my values? What are the things that are valuable to me? What are those things in my life that, I am not going to compromise? You have to be sure on that. All right, so we are down to, setting boundaries. We spoke about acceptance and self-care. Yes, there's nothing wrong with taking care of yourself. You have to ensure that you spend some time prioritizing your own self-care. And it is essential to loving yourself. And people get the concept wrong if a person spend time, taking care of their own self. And I don't only mean, taking care of your physical appearance, but also your emotional health, your mental health. That is important, because sometimes individuals show up in relationships with a lot of baggages. And so let's say an individual have had, to deal with rejection in the past. If you don't deal with that rejection that you have experienced, you're going to have issues in the marriage. If it's a case where an individual may have been assaulted at some point prior to, believe it or not, you need to deal with those things before you get into a relationship. Maybe it's a case of abandonment. If you don't deal with those issues, you may find that you enter a relationship with the possibility that it could have been a healthy relationship, but you have formed unsecured attachments. And so when you show up in a relationship, that is going to create a baggage. So my friends, listen, there's nothing wrong seeing a therapist, especially in the Black community. Sometimes there is a stigma attached to you speaking to somebody else outside of your family. But listen, those days are over. There's nothing wrong if you are at a place in your life where you have some unresolved issues, where if you step into a relationship with those issues, it is going to create serious problem. I am going to say to you, find a therapist. I am a therapist myself, and so I know what I'm talking about. A lot of individuals from our community are not open to talking to somebody else. And a lot of it has to do with our culture, but we have to break away from that. That is a story for another day that I won't go into. So we talk about self-care, not only the physical appearance, looking all beautiful, but listen, talk about your emotional health, your mental health. Those pieces are also important, and you cannot afford to neglect them. All right, emotional resilience. So when you love yourself, you develop deep emotional resilience. So you become better equipped to handle conflicts, setback, and challenges in relationships. Sometimes a challenge or a conflict may occur in the relationship, but because you don't have that emotional resilience, you go AY, oh my God, he doesn't love me anymore, she doesn't love me anymore, she's leaving me. And if you start to badger a person with that over time, it is going to become very annoying. And yes, they're going to leave you because they're going to think that this person is not emotionally stable. So we want to ensure that we build on our emotional resilience. And it is so important as we talk about emotional resilience. We're also talking about building your inner strength and being able to, just bounce back from situation, which is definitely going to contribute to the health of the relationship. All right. And mutual growth and support. Loving yourself means that you are going to seek a relationship that is going to nurture growth and partnership. And it's also going to encourage individual growth. Yes, if you're in a relationship where you don't feel as though you are supported, then it is going to be a challenge for you. So you want to ensure that you have set that foundation, that individually you are growing as a person. You're growing mentally, you're growing emotionally. Imagine if you are not making any attempt to, grow personal development, professional development, and you go into a relationship with a person who is about personal growth and personal development development, very soon there will be such a wide gap in the relationship. And that is one of the challenges I see with couples, where people start out together, but over time one person starts to go and they start to grow, and then you find that the gap is so wide that there is no longer that level of compatibility. So as a single person, ensure that you are setting the stage of your life already for personal, development. So by the time you get connected to someone, that is something that is already deeply rooted in your DNA. So accepting love and support. And this is the final one. I could go on and on, but this is the final one. Accepting love and support. Loving yourself enables you to accept love and support from others. Listen, there are some people that love is staring them in the face, but because they have not gotten to that place of self-acceptance, of self-love, it becomes so impossible for them to accept the love of others. And if you cannot accept the love of others, you cannot have a healthy relationship. So you have to be at that place where you're able to accept the love and the support that is coming your way. It allows you to recognize your worthiness of receiving love and kindness from others, enhancing the depth and the intimacy in your relationship. Listen, you have to love yourself to be able to receive love from others. So my friends, I think, having a relationship, it's a beautiful thing, especially when it is established on a healthy and solid foundation. And you could have that. I could have that. You could have that. But there is work in it. And for you to start a healthy relationship, you have to start with you. You have to start that relationship with you. And remember, I want you to know that loving yourself is not selfish. It is necessary to create healthy and balanced and fulfilled relationship. So my friends, I am sending you out today to get to know yourself. I am sending you out today to fall in love with yourself. I am sending you out today to work on yourself. Maybe there are some baggages that you really want to strip away. Talk to somebody. There's help out there. You don't have to struggle by yourself. You could connect with someone. And I am believing that you will have a wonderful relationship when you are at that stage. So my friends, I trust that you found today useful. If there are some more things that you want me to talk about, I would like you to leave it in the comments section, and I will be sure to have those discussions. As I said before, this time around we're going deep, and stay tuned. We have another exciting discussion lineup for you. So until we meet again, walk good.